away we go. Welcome back to the pickup meeting. No minutes will be taken, but plenty will be wasted. I'm Kevin Thomas, and with me is Brody Broshears. But do you know, Brody? Today's my birthday. I'm 46.
46?
I know. God, only 9 more years till I catch how old you are right now.
It's all downhill from there, Kevin. I'm telling you. It doesn't get any better than 46.
I understand that mathematically I have been closer to 50 than 40 for quite some time, 6 months, whatever you want to say, time frame. I get that. But there's a significance of turning 46 where you're like, oh, son of a bitch, right? Like, you're just
why 46?
I don't know. Like, you're just getting closer to 50, you know? Like, and as you get older, there's certain numbers that hit. And listen, for anybody that's 50, you're going to say, oh, now he's making fun of the old people again. I am not making fun of the old people again. I am just saying that none of us look at it and say, you know what I can't wait to do? Turn 50, get closer to 50, get old.
I'll tell you what, I've always loved birthdays in the sense that every year you have a birthday is another year you're living.
That's
People
true.
are like, oh, my birthday, I don't really like my birthday. I'm getting too old. I'm like, you're alive. Like, celebrate every birthday.
That's right. And on a previous episode of the show, you said that I was getting you closer to 70. And so therefore, I was killing you.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope to be alive in 2040 and retired happily.
Yeah. I hope you're alive in 2048 too, and also retired. I don't think you're going to make it that much further before you say deuces and retire anyway. Like, I think as soon as you can humanly do it, you're going to do it.
I would love to do that. I think that is true.
Yeah, I get that.
Do you have a special birthday tradition? Like, what are you going to be doing?
This year, my son and I are going to go on a trip.
That sounds awesome.
We're going to leave on my birthday, and we're going to head to Memphis and do some museums and maybe take in a game. I haven't even looked at the schedule, but there's some food places and he likes to go to thrift shops and gaming shops. And so we're going to hit one of those in Memphis as well. And then the day after that, we're going to do the next 2 or 3 days. I got to think of the calendar in Nashville, Tennessee. And spend some time in Nashville and do similar type of things and do some museums and just take in the sights and drivable from Conway, Arkansas, and flying right now is kind of expensive. And so, just want to, not that driving is a lot cheaper right now. Thanks, $4 gas prices.
$5 gas prices. What are we talking about?
Oh, that's right. You're in Illinois. It is expensive in Illinois. That's terrible. Hey, it's $3.97 down here. Come on and visit.
It's $3.90. It was $3.99 in Evansville here recently too. But up here, man, we're getting killed.
Yeah, it's a lot. But no, so just spending time with him will be great. And I have one of these birthdays that is either you love it or you hate it. And we all have birthdays that we would throw into this in some way. But my birthday always falls within 3 to 5 days or exactly on Father's Day. And so we'll also be together on Father's Day, which is nice to extend that time frame.
You're getting cheated. Like they can double dip. Golly, that stinks.
I know. It usually has meant 2 gifts. And so I'm always appreciative of that. And not that gifts are paramount, but it does feel like, especially when it falls right on that date, I always feel a little cheated out of that opportunity. And I always felt bad too, because it would fall on that date for my dad. And then it's my birthday, right? So it's his day and my birthday. It's a lot.
2 ties is what we're saying. You're going to get 2 ties instead of 1.
When was the last time you bought a tie?
Dude, I don't remember. I don't. Wow, it's a long time.
I think the last time I bought a tie was probably at Kohl's, and it was probably because I saw something that said it was 70% off or 80% off, and so it was maybe $1.50, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, okay. But other than that, I can't remember buying a tie in the last 10 years. No, that's probably not true. Probably 7, 8 years.
I think I had one of my admins at the University of Southern Indiana, she was amazing. Susie Schrader. She bought me a tie on Boss's Day one year, and it was wonderful, beautiful. And I still wear that tie, but I think that's the last tie I can remember getting.
Yeah. I feel like for a lot of campuses that's gone away. I will wear some on board meeting days, but outside of that, I don't wear a lot of ties.
Geez, this wasn't in the script, but man, it's got me flummoxed. I don't think I've bought a tie in 15 years.
Oh, well, here's something. So recently I was asked to speak and provide the welcome at Arkansas Boys State. I don't know if you know the Boys State program, if you're familiar with it, Brody, but like in the summer of junior year, the American Legion in states throughout the country puts on an event where juniors that are going to be seniors, young men, are invited to come and do mock government and different interactions. And I did Boys State as a 17-year-old after my junior year in Illinois. Matter of fact, I won a scholarship, an Oracle scholarship. I had to give a speech at 17 in front of the entire delegation. But I was doing this welcome for it. And I was thinking about this because I showed up and I was asked to do it. And they said, hey, come do the welcome, this and that. And I'm like, okay. So I show up and I'm in UCA gear because I'm giving a welcome from UCA. I have black pants on and a black like polo-ish shirt that's got UCA logo and my name tag. And I don't know anything about the script. I was told to come do a 5-minute welcome. And I know
where this is going.
I walk into the green room. And Congressman French Hill from Arkansas is in the green room. He's the keynote, and he's got his jacket on and his boots and all the things. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not dressed for this moment.
I've made a mistake.
No one told me, so I'm owning the fact that at least I look UCA. But I'm sitting on stage, and it's Lynn Cotton, who's the Congressman Senator Tom Cotton's father, Congressman French Hill, me, and this American Legion like important person. And all of a sudden I'm looking around the room, I'm like, I don't have a tie on, I don't have a jacket on, but no one else in this room does either. And I think 10 years ago that would have not been the case. The closest was the congressman having on a jacket. But you have these dignitaries in various forms of life, and I just think that that's such a culture change that's happened in our world that you just don't see the tie. Yeah, this was not on our script, but here we are.
Do you remember we were talking about this maybe a couple episodes ago? When COVID hit, like I spent my time looking for the perfect sweatpant, and that's what I spend. I mean, I'm looking for joggers. Like, what's the best jogger? I found something at Old Navy a couple of this past spring, and I bought like 3 pairs of this jogger because it's amazing. And hardly any money spent on it. But finding a good jogger is really important post-COVID time now.
So when you go, let's say, okay, you're jogger, right? Like when you go to the movies, do you typically, what do you wear to the movies? Do you have on a jogger to the movies like you're out and about, or like what? I always struggle with this, that I know what professional Kevin looks like and what he wears. And some people might say professional Kevin's not too professional, but I know what I wear to work. I know what I wear when I'm at home and just going to sleep. But like, there's these things that come up like, what do you wear to the movies? I went and saw the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, Baby Yoda, if you will. I'm not going to do the formal name. I don't know him that well.
Yeah.
But Baby Yoda. And I had on a Disney shirt because I had on one of the jerseys or whatever that on the back says, "May the Force be with you." And I thought, well, that's pretty themed, but where else am I going to wear that shirt? And so, like, what do you wear?
Well, I mean, I'm old, Kevin, right? 55. And my birthday's not till October.
Not your birthday.
Yeah, it's not my birthday today. It's Kevin Thomas's birthday today. Like, let's not take away from that.
That's right. This is my day. They were only going to talk about things that we weren't supposed to talk about, and keep going on that front.
We're off the rails. It's great. I love it.
So off the rails, folks. Like, listen, we don't do a lot of scripting, but there's nothing that we've talking about that we were supposed to be. Except that it's my birthday, so I make rules.
So air conditioning is always the thing. And it's always freezing in the movie theater. So I'm not bringing a blanket, and I usually wear sandals. I love going and feeling comfortable, like I'm watching a movie at the house. So a good sweatshirt, pair of shorts in the summer is probably what I'm going with, and then sandals. Sometimes my feet will get cold, and I'm not willing to bring a blanket in, but I'm very comfortable. I was thinking about this, on Saturdays, the farmer's market, I walked to the farmer's market, and you were like, what do I wear? And I'm like, I look like I got out of bed probably, right? Lots of color, mismatched shorts, long sleeve t-shirt. I pop a hat on, some sneakers. But I have a lot of color in my outfits generally. And usually I don't look, I'll wear those joggers that have pockets. I need zip pockets now, it feels like. I don't like going out without zip pockets. Or I need to be wearing jeans or dress pants if I'm not going to have zip pockets.
Yeah, I get it. Have you been to movies recently? I mentioned.
I had. So you mentioned Mandalorian, and we went to the movies this weekend with Catherine's sister, and she's not a big Star Wars person, or we just decided we were just going to eliminate that from the choices. And we went to Sheep Detectives, which is getting great reviews, and it was fantastic. I loved every second of it. So fun.
I'm going to see it. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to see it tonight. But I'm going to see it, and I'm excited about it. But I told you at the beginning of the year, I have a goal of like 30 movies this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I'm on pace for 30 movies, but it's about to sneak up. Summer is a great time to go to the movies because it's hot outside. It's nasty. It's all the things. And so, but there are movies coming up, and I'm excited about them. Toy Story is coming up.
Yeah.
And listen, you can't take the Disney out of me. I'm excited about Toy Story. Let's think other movies are coming. Oh, live action Moana. I'm going to go see it, right? Lin-Manuel doing music, live action Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. I'm going to go see that.
Pressure looks good to me. The Steven Spielberg movie that's coming out looks great. Kind of the sci-fi movie. I'm looking forward to that maybe. Kevin, we were talking about this. My wife and I, we love going to the movies, but man, it's dying. There was nobody in the movie theater when we went the other day.
He-Man is coming to the movies, and I'm mentioning that because there was a guy that was sitting in front of us at the movies, and if you're listening to our podcast, I'll be surprised. But there was a guy the other day, and the He-Man promo is on, and it gets to the part where he puts the sword up and says, I have the power.
I have the power. Yeah.
Right. And like he is doing that in the theater, and I'm like, oh, this guy's going to be great. And then he spent bigger portions of the next 2 hours while we're in the theater turning on his cell phone because whoever's talking to him on Facebook Messenger is way more important than the movie that we're all paid to sit in. You're talking about movie experience. This is the thing that's killing it for me. Like, I get it where it's like it's a different experience. People aren't going, but like no one will disconnect. You can put lounge chairs in theaters. You can do all the things, but like
food, the beer, yeah.
All of it. And then you got people that just want to have their cell phone out because they can't get away for 2 hours.
Kat and I were talking. I think movies theaters are going to be like drive-in theaters in 20 years, 30 years.
I like that.
Yeah. Like there won't be very many of them, and it's just going to be that. That's kind of where we've gotten. It's not a community experience anymore. People just want to watch at home.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They're going to be extinct. I thought you were going to say we're going to go back to drive-ins.
No, they're going to go away. Like, I asked that question. You kind of ignored me, but maybe it's because it's your birthday, and I'll give you a little grace because it is your birthday. But
it is. It's my birthday. Calm
Happy
down.
birthday, Kevin. I haven't bought you anything yet. I gotta get that sorted.
I know. I kind of ruined some things with that a few years ago for you and I. And I promise, folks, we're going to talk higher ed at some point. But I kind of ruined that at some point because we've been friends for a long time, but we've never been like gift friends. Like,
no, we haven't.
Maybe it would be things that we do where I saw something and it was like $3 and thought you would like it. What did I get you? Was it like a Dan Marino?
Yeah.
Ryan Greasy thing or Bob Greasy?
Yeah, the little action figures. And I'll send you pins from time to time.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just random. And then we happened to be together on your birthday and in Disney. And I saw a hat and I was like, I think Brody would really like this for his birthday. And then I changed the momentum. Yeah. It's like, oh, son of a biscuit. We really have to like do some things now. And I screwed it all up.
It's that black Nike hat that has just the small little Mickey. God, it's fantastic. I love it.
You're welcome.
Dang. Such a good giver of gifts, Kevin. I got to get myself sorted for you.
You do. Let's go. Step it up. It's my birthday.
Well, let's talk about higher. We were talking about, we're getting ready for the annual conference, and I'm helping chair the state conference, Ilocata. We were talking about professional development. Think about the summer, and what do people do for professional development? And we've talked about this before, but I don't think we've ever really dug in, right? We think about professional growth in higher education. We automatically, I think, in the advising world, we think of the annual conference, right? That's kind of the default. And we budget money to go and people get really excited. But man, professional development is a lot more than attending annual conferences.
Yeah, and we wrote an yet to be published article. We'll see if it gets accepted. But we did write one, me, you, and Matt Markin, on how taking the conference interaction and stretching it beyond the conference is an important thing.
Yes.
And so this is our way of saying, hey, Nakata, accept that publication.
We are saying that. It's true.
Yeah. We're just asking politely. But I think conferences are great for networking. Conferences are great for experience. Conferences are great for learning. But I don't know that people automatically embrace professional development beyond conferencing. And in the seats that we sit in, I think sometimes we tend to put that as an afterthought. And people are like, well, I'd like to develop here and like to develop there. And I really want to get to a better place of encouraging, especially as budgets are getting tighter and folks are concerned about money and time away from family and all the things that are there, that you focus on the ability to do things on your campus. And I will say I've been really fortunate here recently at the Citadel, at University of Michigan, at Virginia Tech, to be a keynote for on-campus professional development opportunities that they've had where they bring people in from the outside. Listen, I'm bringing you to our campus in July. I'm excited about that. But it's with purpose. And I think you get an opportunity to do things with greater purpose when you embrace professional development beyond conferencing to fit the needs of your team as a whole.
Yeah, I think, in many instances, even annual conferences, the goal should be to what can I do to solve a local problem or to deal with what can I learn that's going to help me in my work back at my campus. And sometimes the best way to deal with that is to kind of think about what kind of opportunities exist on my campus for development. Which ways can I get involved? I know we have a lot of, advising is a relatively young profession now, right? A lot of our advisors are less than 3 years in the field. That's a pretty big portion of NACADA membership. And so not all of those folks get to go to annual conferences. So taking advantage of what an institution has to offer, I'm so impressed with Illinois State. We have LinkedIn Learning. We have in our advising community, we have a professional development training group. And I think taking advantage of those kinds of opportunities and even giving advisors a chance to share expertise out, to me, is a really great way to think about professional development in the advising community.
Yeah, and I like the theming of things. I'm thinking about for when you're coming to campus here soon. I think that the constant that higher education is facing right now is a lot of negativity on value and purpose.
Yeah.
But then also a lot of balancing the difficulties of shrinking state support, shrinking federal support. And that's causing institutions to have to do things that haven't been the norm. Like I know on our campus this year, we're not going to have a cost of living adjustment, a COLA increase. And so I'm worried about general happiness of how folks are doing. So one of the reasons why you're coming to campus, and I'm sure there'll be other things that come from it, is to kind of talk about some of that meaning making and happiness and the work that they do and how happiness is not determined by the things like that, and that it is a bigger equation of things. And so when you're able to theme things in a certain way, I think that allows for development to be done with purpose and not just by happenstance.
Yeah. I mean, we really know what motivates folks. I mean, it's pretty clear. Mastery, autonomy, and purpose. That's what Dan Pink talks about in Drive, and I use that a lot in some of my talks. And so, we all want to get better at stuff, and we all want to be able to do the things that we really are good at doing. And we want to do both of those things in the way that really allows us to meet the goals of our work, right? Or of our association and their goals. And so to me, thinking about professional development in that way can be really valuable. One example that I would use that I think was a great development opportunity, and my folks were so mad at me when I made them do that. It was, we did some peer observations of advising appointments, for example.
Yeah.
And what a great opportunity to learn. And my folks initially were just like, I hate your guts, Brody. Making me do this. How dare you? I know how to do this work. And I'm like, yes, I understand. But to grow, we should see other ways to do it. And it was amazing once we, decluttered that from, say, evaluations and said, look, the goal is to learn, to do this better. How can we do it? And once people had a chance to do that, it just was amazing. I've never thought about this approach, or I've never asked this question. Gosh, you're doing this thing really, really well. Like talking about the general education program, or you asked this question that really led to some great conversation. I'm going to use that. Like, that's development. We don't think about it that way, but it is.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't cost anything. It just is about a willingness to want to learn and get better at the work.
Yeah. And I think about the organic things that can happen too. And that goes outside of our role in embracing the work that our teams can do. I think about Claire Tober, and I don't think it was just her. I think there were a couple of people on my advising staff that wanted to focus on mental health and well-being of our students. And so they did research. They did work to kind of say, this is how we can do a better job as an advising team. Them presenting that to their fellow colleagues,
yes,
way more effective than me doing anything for them.
Yes,
way more effective. I think the advising team here has a book club. Those interactions on a meaningful topic and just interacting is development that I can't manufacture, because people would say, why are you requiring me to read this book? They picked it out. They went through it. They worked through those words and through that work and really found meaning from what they were doing. And those are wonderful organic experiences.
Yeah. I think even as supervisors, we could ask good questions. What do you want to learn more about? What's a topic that you really have a lot of passion for that you could share out to other advisors? I know that when I go to annual conferences, one of the things that's frustrating to me, I'll ask people, who they are and what they do. And so many times folks will say, well, I'm just an advisor. And I'm like, nobody's just an advisor, and there's so much expertise in that world that we can share at really low cost. And when we do that, I think people have a chance to develop. On my campus, the other place where that happens is folks want to be involved in spaces outside of their direct areas. And I think trying to find ways to facilitate those opportunities is another way to be good stewards of professional development. And so I think in instances where that can happen, I've tried to promote that.
Yeah. Do you feel like you do a good job of selling the importance of it? We talk about telling our story. I know that you have a new boss and at this moment, do you feel like you do a good job, or you have to do a good job of conveying why that's important? Or do you feel like professional development, whether to conferences or not, is valued?
I think what I try to do is lead by example, but I think certainly engagement works best when you have the conditions that we've talked about, right? People are able to recharge. People feel good about the work that they're doing. They understand that their work is important and they have the tools to do the work well. To me, that's the start, right? Good engagement leads to better development from my perspective. I do often with my leaders share articles. I just shared an article today about the joy of learning, right? Have we forgotten about the joy of learning in higher education? And it kind of built on a discussion about what is the purpose of higher ed that we talked about in our retreat through some deliberative dialogues. And it's just an add-on. But I share those articles all the time. And I just think that it's really valuable to kind of say, I'm reading these things. I'm thinking about this stuff. And I think good employees should be thinking about this stuff too.
You mentioned the recharging part of that, because I think a lot of folks put professional development in that recharge category. And I would just say, realize that it doesn't have to just be professional development that does it.
Sure.
You know, for a lot of administrators, including me, I feel a recharge from going to a conference. Like, for sure, I think that's part of it. But I would say sitting in opportunities that provide student interaction are probably a greater recharge than anything I do, because I don't get as much of that as I used to get. And I think about that for my director of admissions. She started as a recruiter, and now she's director of admissions.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can see the overwhelmed moments of paperwork and process and travel schedules and all the things that she does. But I can tell when she's gone into a school and she gets to go recruit a student again, because you can see the recharge. Doing something different than your norm can be that professional development. Doing something different than your norm can be that growth, that recharge that you want as well.
Yeah, I think that that's 100% true. You know, you were saying, do we do a good job of that? I mean, I think most people would look at me and say, I really want engaged folks, right? I think most people would say Brody works to try to do that. I mean, there are always some folks who might not say that. I mean, some people don't like me, Kevin Thomas. I guess maybe that's a surprise to you. Maybe it's not.
It's always a surprise to me. How could they not like you? You're so delightful.
And it's not necessarily about being liked, but if people are unwilling to kind of think about things in a way that I think are really important, which is our job matters, our work matters, right? When we look at the engagement data through Gallup, a lot of folks don't automatically think about their work that way. But if you're willing to think about the work that way, I think it's easier to provide those opportunities. If you're not, it's tougher. And that doesn't mean you give up. And I think some of this is even generational. Like I have found here recently that younger group coming in now, I think the why really matters. And you're never done explaining why professional development is important. You're never done explaining why it might be useful to know how admissions and financial aid interact with our space. It may require you to explain why it might be useful to know about what's the content in the beginning major courses of the areas that I'm advising. All of those things matter, but we have to help folks kind of move along in some instances, at least on the generational side. I have found that folks more my age, those Gen Xers now, I think it's a little easier sell than it is with our younger crew. And that's on supervisors. We have to figure out a way to do it. And I'm learning still and trying to do my best, but I think asking good questions can really matter. Like, what are you hoping to learn? What's something that you really are fired up about? And then letting people kind of move along with that is really good.
And I think making it a priority of your experience.
Yes.
That's a priority of your leadership. I think that's all you can really ask for. Which
you have to be willing to give people the time to do it too. Like that's the other piece. Advisory jobs are hard.
You're right.
And we can say one thing, but if we don't give people the time to kind of really live in that development world, then that's on us.
That's right. And it's on us to get to our top three. And for our top three, I'm going to audible. Am I?
Oh, no.
I don't know. The top three birthday gifts you're going to get me this year. I'm kidding. We were talking professional development, and we've done this before where we talked our favorite cities that we've been to for a conference. And
yes.
And I remember, reflecting back on some of my favorite, Nashville, San Antonio, Orlando. Those are some favorites in my mind. But today it is our top three locations for a NACADA or any professional development conference that has not yet been a part of your professional experience. What would those three be, Brody Broshears?
Dang. Well, I think I love the Northwest, and Portland was fantastic in 2022. One of my favorite spaces, for sure.
Yeah.
So I would say Seattle. I don't think we've had a conference in Seattle, an annual conference in Seattle.
I'd like to do that one. Yeah.
I know we've done a region conference in Columbus, Ohio, but the good Midwesterner in me says, let's get an annual to Columbus because I really enjoyed my region conference there.
I did a conference in Columbus within the last year, and I will say super clean city. Also, home of Nationwide.
Oh my, I didn't know.
I know. All I could think was Peyton Manning and Brad Paisley commercials nonstop because Nationwide is on your side, not a sponsor.
And then I think selfishly, like I'm not out on the West Coast that much. I don't think we've done an annual in San Diego. That would be fun.
Oh, San Diego's such a great city.
Or something crazy like Alaska would be fun too.
You know,
so like, I don't know what city I'd choose. Fairbanks, Juneau, like they're only like,
yeah.
I don't know that they have a space big enough to house us, but San Diego would be maybe my third one. So those are my three: San Diego, Seattle, Columbus. Let's go.
You know, there's always this argument of certain cities, and people either love or hate in a lot of ways. Where for NACADA, they say Vegas and Orlando have to happen within every 10 years because you get the biggest attendance at those. And I don't disagree with that. But I went to a NASFA conference for financial aid in San Diego, and I'm going to tell you, folks were showing up because it was San Diego.
Yes,
that was a delight. So you're not wrong on your list. That's a good one to have.
And I didn't mention Canada, but like Vancouver would be awesome. Montreal would be awesome. Both of those spaces would be fun. Maybe I want to edit my choice. Now I'm up to 5.
Quebec, Edmonton. Yeah. At this point, I'm just listing hockey towns in Canada.
You settled down.
Toronto.
There's been a region conference in Toronto. It was great.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. So my 3, here we go. I'm gonna put this in there. And I'm gonna ad lib a little bit. Boston is a city I've never been to, and I would just like there to be an annual conference. I know. So Boston is on my list.
Great. Love it.
I don't care what city. Truthfully, don't care at all. I would like to go to Hawaii, and I think that an annual conference would do really well, or a conference of any sort would do really well in Hawaii. I'm going to be Stephanie Kraft Terry from Hawaii at this moment and say the Administrators Institute that I'm no longer the chair of should be in Hawaii. How great would that be?
I'm in. As long as you keep me on as a faculty member, let's go.
Right. And then I would say the last I had on my list was New York City, but I will also say conferences that don't have a small or ability to have a smaller footprint, right? On things like if we were in New York City, it'd be like it being in Vegas, where you're in Vegas and everything else is in Vegas and you don't see people. Yeah. So I don't know that New York City is what is going to stand out there for me. So I'm going to say I haven't done something in certain areas of Texas, right? Like I've been to San Antonio, I've been to Dallas, but I've never been to Houston once. And so let's go Houston for my third choice.
That's awesome. I went to Houston to speak last fall, maybe 2024. It was awesome.
You're so famous.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think Houston would be a lot of fun. So I that's going to be on my list now.
All right. Well, we did pretty good today, I think.
We did not crash and burn, because if we would have crashed and burned on my birthday, this would be the last pickup meeting.
I mean, happy birthday to you, Kevin.
Thanks, man.
I'm glad you're a year older and you made it.
That means I'm a year closer to being near you.
Yeah.
For this moment in time, I'm only 9 years away and not 10.
I mean, you made math a thing the last Just Us episode. So now you got to get the mathing right. I don't think it's how it works. You can't get any closer.
You're probably right. And we're not going to get into math skills again because it was interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this edition of the Pickup Meeting. We hope all your meetings, whether it's formal or pickup style, are as fun and as meaningful as this one. Until then, gang, let's just do good and be nice. How about it?
This is why people watch the end of our episodes and watch them.